I want to build Chichén Itzá in my Minecraft world, and when looking it up I found that all the images were showing it in its current ruined state, and that made me think, wouldn't it be cool to build it in its original state? Well, yes, it would, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I load into the brand new world and punch a tree, craft some tools, and set sail with the hopes of finding a village so that I can get some supplies and into the nether quickly. I pick up some iron just before finding the smallest village I've ever seen. Unfortunately for the owner of the house, I decide to steal his food. Now, in order to build a temple, I'll need some great equipment. And to get that, I'll first have to go into the nether to get blaze rods and ender pearls so that I can get eyes and enter the end, defeat the dragon for the XP, and raid the end cities for the great loot in the chests. Anyways, a short while later, I find a ruined portal, which seems repairable, so after looting a shipwreck and finding a buried treasure, I swing back to the portal, where I patch it up and enter the nether. After entering the nether, I set out to find the fortress. On the way there, I nearly die from fall damage, and then get lucky not catching fire. But anyways, I don't have any further trouble on my way to the fortress, and just before finding it, I get the Return to Sender achievement. Getting the blaze rods is actually quite hectic, since I don't have a shield, and to make matters worse, I accidentally punch a piglet, so I constantly have to dodge the blaze balls while looking over my shoulder for any piglins coming in for an ambush. After killing enough blazes and piglins, I've managed to get enough rods, and it's time to look for endermen in the warp forest, where I trap them in the boat and take their pearls. I'll pick up a couple extra, just in case some break on my way to find the fortress. Anyways, I got what I came for, and it's time to head back to the portal, and out into the overworld. Now I sail around a bit and find a shipwreck, as well as an abandoned mansion, and after that, some gold feather falling foreboots from a ruined portal. With enough dilly-dallying done, I craft my Eyes of Ender, throw the first one, and head towards the stronghold. On my way there, I find a village and pick up a few beds, as well as shearing some nearby sheep, since I plan to blow up the dragon using beds. We also get a guest appearance from a 1 in 1,000 pink sheep, but anyways, I continue on and throw a couple more pearls, and a short while later, I find the stronghold sticking out of the ground and head inside what is the library section and make my way to the portal room. A few too many eyes broke on my way to the stronghold. Luckily, I brought a spare blaze rod, and there's already 2 eyes in the frame as well, so I drop off the things I don't need, activate the portal, and hop in. Now I make my way to the fountain, where I set up for the explosions to come. I run away a bit, and when the dragon perches towards the fountain top, I pearl back and blow it up. With the dragon dead, I hurry to extinguish the fire and pick up the XP that didn't burn. Now the last thing before going through the gateway is to pick up the egg, and it's now time to find an end city. Now I immediately see an end city on the horizon, and after getting a few pearls, I make my way over there. While scaling the city, I kill a bunch of shulkers so that I can make some shulker boxes, which will come in handy for item transportation at a later stage. Now right before I pearl up onto the ship, I see another end city in the distance, well ahead after I've cleared this one. Anyway, I get onto the ship and kill a few shulkers before picking up my wings and loot the chests. After clearing the rest of the city, I fly over to the next city and I spot another city while on the way there. I clear those 2 cities as well, which gives another pair of wings and more loot, and I decide to fly out to find one last city, which I a short while later do, and then after looting that as well, with 3 pairs of wings, it's time to head back to the overworld so I can start the progress on the temple. Now I want to get enchanting immediately and decide to craft an enchanting table. Unfortunately, after getting wood for bookshelves, I realize I've left the books in the stronghold. Anyways, I want to go get the other things there regardless, but at this point it dawns on me that I forgot to note down the coordinates for the stronghold. Luckily I still have an ender eye. The bad news is that after throwing it, it heads to a different stronghold. I try to retrace my steps for a while, and when I throw it again, it decides to change directions. So I follow a straight line right up until I find the exposed library once again. I pick up my stuff and head up. It's time to decide on a base location, and after sailing around for a bit, I pick this peninsula, which sort of fits with the temple in real life, being located on the Yucatan Peninsula. Now after setting up a small camp, The final step before starting work on the temple is to enchant some tools to make the whole process faster. Now with all my equipment in order, I realized the smart move is to head into the caves and pick up some diamonds so that I can repair my tools during the terraforming of the peninsula. It's quite hectic in the caves and I fight many mobs while trying to look for diamonds in the dark. I eventually find enough and it's time to head back up where I can now start to flatten some hills. Now with a fresh slate to build the pyramid on, I still have to get the materials for it. There aren't many different kinds together, but it's still going to take a while because I need 2000 sandstone as well as another 20,000 red sand, which I'll turn into all the different types of sandstone, which will be used in the pyramid. Anyways, let's get started. I delve into the caves again and quickly find some raw gold, which I pick up and turn into raw gold blocks. After that, I craft some campfires and we're on to the second phase, which takes us into the nether. So I fly to a nearby village where I mine some obsidian, and with that done, I fly back and set up a portal in the side of the cliff face and into the nether. I fly around for less than a minute before finding a crimson forest, where I pick up some wood and craft the crimson signs. I then fly over to a warp forest and pick up a couple of twisting vines as well as the warp wood, which I promptly turn into the trapdoors that I need. For the third phase, I head back to the portal, where I find that it's dangerously close to a bastion. Luckily, it seems built in, so I don't have any altercations with the brutes. Anyway, it's back out, and it's time to shear a couple of azalea trees, so I pick up some azalea bushes, bone meal them, and get the ordeal sorted. Meanwhile, I've got some twisted vines growing, so it's on to phase 4, where I fly to the mesa and quickly pick up the 2 terracottas, and now all there's left is to dig up an ocean of sand. Now an unbreaking 3 diamond shovel can on average dig up a little over 6,000 blocks before I'll have to repair it, and with needing to dig up over 20,000 blocks of sand, I'll definitely have to repair it at least 3 times. So after digging up the first shovel's worth, it's time to repair it, and for that I'll need levels, and without any type of XP farm setup, I resort to the old reliable, which is mining a ton of quartz in the nether. Eventually I reach level 33, and it's time to head out. Now as you might recall, the first portal was near the mesa, so I dig a tunnel to connect the 2 portals in the nether, with the hope of not burning through my rocket supply as fast as I have been. Arriving back in the overworld, I enchant 2 shovels and combine them. I'll still need more to get the job done however, so I head back into the nether, get to level 30 once again, and enchant another shovel, so a new proper sand digging session can begin. Having filled 5 shulkers, I head back, and while tallying up my sand, I find I'll need more shovels. Without any diamonds to make them, I have to head down into the caves for a strip mining session, which results in 9 diamonds. Now with that done, I'll show you guys a couple of time lapses of the digging, and spare you of the boring parts, which are running back and forth repairing shovels and emptying shulkers. I might finally have gathered all the sand that I need, and while turning it into red sandstone it's easy. Most of it needs to be smelted into smooth red sandstone, so I'll need a bunch of coal, which I don't have. And that means it's over to the island next door, where I'll mine all the coal I can find. Now with that done, I can get to smelting, and after a nice time lapse, I can finally finish up the crafting, and now we can finally get started on building the pyramid, so enjoy the time lapse.